Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a different video. So if you are looking for high edits, if you are looking for someone that is going to trigger your dopamine brain, this is not the video to do it. I'm making this video for someone that maybe lost their funded account without any payouts and is thinking, am I cut for this? And the reason I'm making this video is because I had this experience this year, and it was one of my toughest years so far in terms of trading. And it's funny because I've said this ever since the beginning of my trading journey. Like every single year I've had huge challenges, from first year of not being profitable and thinking I'm never going to get investor capital, with second year thinking I'm never going to be cut for this because I don't know how I'm going to get funded. I don't know how am I going to get payouts. Everyone is making money. I am not making money. Then in the third year of getting a good solid amount of payouts, but still thinking, well, there are people that are making more money than me. Then fourth year, going through this final shift of I have to go all in and I need to stop flip-flopping around. And this year where I lost 800K in funding in a matter of months. And it was not easy, especially coming from someone that I had the goal of making multiple six figures from trading this year. And from the beginning of the year, I was like, yes, I'm excited. Let's go. We're going to do it. And then the whole prop firm industry started crumbling down. And it's not that I lost funding just because of my trading. It was actually because of the companies going under. But I lost 800K in funding of companies going under, but I also lost another 200K in funding. So I went down from 1.1 million all the way down to 100K because of then my trading. And that's where all these thoughts started coming into my head of how am I going to reach my goal? How am I going to bounce back? How am I going to be able to continue growing if all of a sudden I've been basically, it's like starting a marathon, being 15 kilometers in or 10 miles in, and then someone telling you, hey, you have to go back to the starting line and you have to finish. And you're thinking, well, but I already came so far. And maybe some of you are now in your trading thinking the exact same thing of, I've come this far, I've passed the challenge, I've passed the verification, I've almost got a payout, and now I blew it. And now I have to do this all over again. How am I going to do this? Am I even cut for this? Am I even going to be able to finish this marathon, get a payout, and make it worth it? I know that a lot of you are probably going through that. And the reason I want to make this video is because I've been in your shoes. And just a spoiler for my end of the year video, I've already reached that goal. We are in September, end of September, and I've already reached the goal that I put in the beginning of the year. So there were a lot of lessons that I learned from this, and I want to make this video to give you words of encouragement, to give you a case study that is myself. This is the best case study that I can give you, and tell you how I got through it. Not just the mental, but the technical, like everything. I have a lot of people messaging me saying that, hey, I just got funded. What should I do right now? I want to get to the payout. I want to do X, Y, and Z. So first I want to talk to the people that haven't lost their challenge yet, or haven't lost their funded account yet, or just got funded, and you are trying to avoid, by learning from my mistakes or other people's mistakes, what you should be doing. And everyone that messages me and says, hey, I've joined the Simple Trading Edge, I've gotten funded, what should I do now? Or someone that has used anything on the channel, or even just sees me as someone that is a good prop firm trader and wants my tips, and they come to me and say, hey, I just got funded, what are your tips right now? What I always tell them is, don't risk 1%, and I will tell you why. It's not about the money when you get funded. Yes, trading is about the money, but you need to understand that money will come as long as you can consistently grow as a trader. So some of you probably never seen $10,000 in your life. Some of you probably never seen $100,000 in your life. And some of you don't even believe that you will ever see $100,000 in your life. And I will break that belief in this video. But the reason why I tell people to reduce their risk to maybe 0.25% at first is because if it's your first account, if it's the first time you want to get a payout, if it's the first time that you are close to a payout, the first thing you need to do is settle to a new reality. Because when you get funded, you are exposed to something that you've never experienced before. And so if you go all out, if you go into risking 1% and you get into a little bit of drawdown, like 1%, 3%, 4% drawdown, which is completely possible, you start thinking, well, I've blown it. The mindset of a lot of you guys is that as soon as you get into 4% drawdown, I'm not cut for this, I've blown this account. You haven't even gone through 50% of the drawdown. So the first thing that I would tell you is, because I know that some of you are going to make mistakes when you get funded. I did these mistakes myself because I risked 1% directly on my funded account. It's just to cut risk. The reason why I tell you to cut risk is because I want you to get used to seeing your profit. I want you to get used to seeing profit and thinking, this is money in my bank account if I now wait. And a lot of traders, they keep on trying to go for more and more and more and more, and they just blow it. And one of the things that I've told my students also is that I had one student that he said, hey, I just made literally 2 times what I make in 1 month in my job. I did that in 4 days. Do you know what the first thing was that I told him? I told him, stop trading. Until the end of the month, until you get the profit split, stop trading. Why? Because I want you to get used to get the payout. I want you to get used to see the money and get the money into your account. Make it seem real. Pay something with that money. Make sure that you understand this money that I just made is real money. It's so weird looking at an account that has $100,000, $105,000 in, and you think, well, this is just fake money. It's on your phone. If you enter in 10 lots, you can easily lose all this money. So it never feels real. And so the first thing that I will want to tell you is reduce risk. And once you have a couple of percentages in your account, just stop trading. Let's say you're risking 0.25%. Once you hit 1%, stop trading. Stop trading, get the payout, right? So that is my number one recommendation if you are looking to become a trader and you want to avoid the mistakes that I'm going to talk about right now. So now this part of the video is for people that just lost their funding. And I want to tell you something, which is you already got there. Now you just need to fix your mistakes. Right? One of the biggest things that traders do is that they believe that once they fail once, that they are a failure. And we've been taught that ever since we were very, very young. We've been taught that if we fail, we are a failure. If we fail, people are going to make fun of us. And that's why we have such a big attachment into not failing. That's why when you lose 2-3%, you think, this is not going well. It might just be probabilities. So what I want to tell you is that you are already halfway there. Once you got funded, there is a reason, but unless you were gambling, there is a reason why you got funded. There is a skill in you that is worth a lot of money. If you are able to work on that skill and you are able to transfer that with discipline into a challenge, into a funded account, you will make money from trading. But a lot of people have the skill, but then they don't have the discipline to implement that skill because they either go gambling or they enter into this negative state of mind that they are not able to do this. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because I want to change that perspective in you. I want you to understand that you already have something valuable in you. When I lost $800,000 in funding, I lost a lot of my income because that $800,000 was at least in the minimum making me $10,000 every single month. Can you understand how that losing all of that had a really big toll on my mental? And then basically losing everything, which I was consistently bringing great numbers from. It was not good. And I had to pull myself back. This was not the particular journal. I had to journal a lot on what it means to be a trader, on what it means to be a profitable trader, on what it means to have the skill, on what it means that thinking long term. So with me, when I lost all that funding and I lost all that income that was coming from the funded accounts, I had to pull myself back and say, listen, you've done this. Right? You have learned an extremely valuable skill that now, if you control yourself as a person and you have the discipline to thinking, well, I was already halfway through the marathon and I was put right in the beginning. It doesn't matter because I know that I can get to the finish line. And in trading, there's no finish line, doesn't matter, it's just a metaphor. So I know that if I'm already 1 mile away from the finish line and I'm put in the beginning, I know that if people give me time, that I can get to the finish line again. Maybe it's not going to be as fast as in the first run, but I can get there. And that's the mentality that I want you guys to approach it with, which is, yes, you've just lost the challenge. Yes, you just lost the funding. Yes, maybe you never got a payout. But those were all mistakes that you probably did that you can fix and that will improve your skill even more and will allow you to then in the future make money from trading. Every time that there is an issue on the plane, there's always a report card, right? People always know if a plane unfortunately crashed, if a plane unfortunately had any sort of issue, that is put into a report card. And now, what is the most safe method of transportation? It's the plane. Why? Because we've made so many mistakes with planes, but every time we make a mistake, that mistake is now avoided. That's why pilots have a checklist. That's why there's so many, a plane has so many intricate systems to avoid mistakes that it's now the safest way to travel. So that's what you want to do with your trading. You want to understand, okay, I failed the challenge. Why? Okay, I failed the funded account. Why? Okay, I failed the verification. Why? Okay, I never got a payout. Why? What happened? What created all of this? And then you can tackle each thing that will then allow you to be one step closer to what? To passing the challenge, to passing the verification, to passing the funding, to get the payout when you get funded, to keep getting payouts when you get funded, because that's another thing that is going to happen. You are going to get a payout and sometimes you're going to blow the account because you're so ecstatic that you finally got the account and this is finally able to pay your bills that you are going to make a mistake. And that's fine as long as you understand that every time you make a mistake, that is a way for you to continue learning more and become even better at this skill that is trading. And that's what I learned from this experience of losing 800K in funding and even $1 million in funding, but I'll put 800K on the title, which is I have everything I need. You can strip everything away from me. I will still make it back. Doesn't matter if it's on the personal account, doesn't matter if it's on a prop firm account, doesn't matter if I have to go for futures, doesn't matter if I have to go for CFDs, doesn't matter if I have to trade corn and coffee for the rest of my life. I know I have the skill to be able to do that, but your goal as a trader is to develop this skill and put yourself in a mind frame of thinking 5 years ahead, thinking 10 years ahead, then going to build upon this skill that people are going to pay you so much money for. So that is what I learned, is that yes, I went basically to zero, but I focused, I was disciplined, I was consistent, and I just thought long term. I wrote down all of the issues that I've made. I went and checked all of the previous mistakes that I did before I actually became funded, before I actually started getting payouts. And I formed this checklist of, okay, what should I avoid? And because of that, I am now a such better trader than just last year. Much more consistent, much more money. And yes, I haven't gotten back to $1 million in funding, but that's just because I'm so focused on getting funded, getting a payout, getting funded, getting a payout. That's all I'm focusing on. Like, I've been making as much money on 400K in total funding as I was when I was $1.2 million in funding, right? Because my approach has changed a little bit. So that is the message of this video, is that I want you to think long term. I want you to look at you as a trader, you that are being faced with this challenge of, I don't know what I'm going to do. I lost this challenge and I lost this funded account and I've never got a payout. I don't know if I'm able to do this. You are. You are already one step ahead than 99% of traders that will never watch this video, because they are going to go into the cycle of, I'm going to blow challenge after challenge after challenge until I get funded, and they will not get a payout. Why? Because they are not learning, right? The fact that you are here in this video and the fact that you are this far into the video And by the way, shameless plug, like and subscribe. I never ask for this. And people say that if you ask, then people are more prone to do it. So please like and subscribe the video and comment if you like the video. That is what I would tell you, is that just think long term, understand that the skill that you need, you are already working on it. You have something that 99% of traders don't have, which is the goal of growth. Don't forget that. And those are going to be my final remarks. And those are going to be my final words of encouragement, which is keep going. This has been the skill that has changed my life the most. Now I'm able to make money wherever I want. I can be in Dubai. I can be traveling. I can be back at my parents' house. I can be taking care of my family and still be able to make money. I don't need to go to a job. I don't need to attend to anyone. I need to follow some rules, which are the prop firm rules, but I don't need to attend to anything else. And that is priceless. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see more videos about this. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.